Okay, so for this next video, what we will discuss is about the discounting method. Okay, so this is the net present value. So this is again a tool or a technique used for capital investment or capital budgeting to determine if we will accept or reject a particular investment. So here, discounting models are used. Use discounted cash flows, which are future cash flows that is expressed in terms of their present values. So, an important feature of money is that it can be invested and can earn interest. Okay, as what I have mentioned in the previous video that we had regarding the time value of money. Okay, so the value of money today is not the same as its value tomorrow. Okay, so this is the fundamental principle of the discounting methods, okay, applying the time value of money concept. So discounting models rely on the relationships between the current and future values of the money. So therefore, to use discounting methods, you need to understand first the relationship between the current, the future, and the present values of money. Okay, so before you understand the concept of time value of money and as well as the computation of the discounting method for the net present value. So first, we will have a short discussion about the future value and the present value because these are considered to be important concepts in understanding this topic. So first, for the future value. Okay, for you to understand this concept, we will use an example. Okay, so suppose a bank advertises a 4% annual interest rate. So if a customer invests $100,000, he or she would receive after 1 year the original $100,000 plus the 4% interest. Okay, so if you're going to compute that using the interest method, so principal amount times rate times time, okay, of 4%. So therefore, the interest that is earned, okay, with the 4% interest rate for this investment of $100,000 is, okay, 4. Okay, so therefore, after the investor have invested for a period of time having 4% interest rate, so he can get 104. Okay, so if you could see his money earned $4. Okay, so to compute for the future value, so this is your formula. Okay, principal amount, okay, times the interest, or we will add the interest later on. Okay, so this is what we mean by future value. Mean to say, upon the investment and the passing of time, the money is able to earn an interest, okay, depending on the rate that is being provided by the bank or those who have offered the investment. Okay, so this is the future value. So now suppose that to continue, the same bank offers also 5% rate if the customer will leave the original deposit plus any interest on deposit for a total of 2 years. Okay, so how much will the customer receive at the end of 2 years? In our first illustration, that's only for 1 year. Okay, what about if the company, in this case, was offering, okay, the investor to leave his deposit, okay, for another 2 years. Okay, and the effect is he will earn additional 5%. Okay, aside from that, which he have already earned during the first year. So here, assume again that the customer still invests 100,000. So here, the at the end of year one, okay, in this case, the 5% will apply if the customer will accept this type of offer. So the 4% interest is only for 1 year period of investment. However, in this case, if the investor will accept the 2 years investing period, then he will get 5%. That's why for the first year, uh, the investor will earn 5%. Okay, so that's $5. So therefore, at the end of the first year, under these terms, the investor will receive a total of 105. Original investment is 100 plus $5 interest earned. Okay, so if this amount is left, okay, for the second year, so our principal now is, or the new principal amount is now $105. So this is the future value at the end of the first year. What about in the second year? So here, to compute the future value, we will use now the new principal amount of 105. Okay, and this will be the basis for the interest for the second year. Okay, so all in all, after 2 years, okay, so the total earnings to be received by the investor will now be equal to $110.25. Okay, so if you could notice, since we used the principal amount, which is derived from the previous year, that is equal to the principal amount, original principal amount, plus the interest earned in the first year. This is what we call compounded interest. Okay, so we base the interest for the next year on the future value of the investment from last year. Okay, so you have that concept also, I guess, in your other mathematics or finance subjects. Okay, so this is the concept of future value. Okay, so in the second year, interest earned is on both the original deposit and the interest earned in the first year, as mentioned. So the earning, okay, as mentioned also earlier, is what we call compounding interest. So the value that will accumulate by the end of an investment's life, assuming a specified compound return. So that will be, of course, in the future. So the future value after 2 years of your investment for $100,000 with 5% interest after 2 years is $110.25. Okay, so that's the concept of, or how we apply the future value, okay, of money. So this is a more direct way actually to compute for the future value. So since in the first application, okay, so this is our, based on the formula, okay, so this is our future value. So in the second application, okay, so this is how it goes. Okay, but anyway, the concept of this is that we just add the interest that was earned in the first year and then in the second year, okay, to get the future value. Okay, you can also use this formula, okay, or in we also have a shortcut of this, okay, as we go along, especially with our present value later on. Okay, okay, so here this is an illustration of how to understand better. This is the picture of determining or for understanding the concept of future and present values. Okay, so if you can notice in this illustration, we have the years, investing years. So year 0, meaning to say this is the starting year where you put your investment. Okay, for example, our investment is 1,000. So after 5 years, okay, as the year passes by, this investment earns the interest depending on the interest rate that is being provided. Okay, so this is after 1 year. This is, I guess, 10%. Okay, 10%, for example, for 5 years. So after 1 year, okay, your investment was able to earn 100. Okay, so therefore its future value after 1 year is 100,100. Okay, the same also during the second year, so compounding interest. So we base our interest for the second year based on the future value here in the first year and so on until in the 5th year. Okay, so please take note, this amounts right here, okay, that has an increased amount because of the passage of time and the interest rate is what we call future values. Okay, this is our future values. Whereas this one, your original investment. Okay, in this illustration, we consider it as your present value. So, or in another term, later as we go along, okay, we will discuss this under the present value um, concept. Okay, so that is for the future value of money.